Good evening. It's Tuesday, October 19, 2020. Is the 6:30 p.m. Prime News on My Media Prime with me, Audrey Zatsa. One man has been burnt alive after a soldier was killed on Saturday, October 16 in Wum, northwest region of the country. Investigation is gradually returning in Wum after houses were burnt, rendering reporter Charles Kebwa from Bamenda.
More people go homeless in Agam, Wum, Menchun division of the Northwest following the killing of a soldier Saturday, October 16, 2021 by neighborhood. This soldier is said to be a Muslim and precisely married to a Hausa girl of ours. Thunderous gunshots prevailed the rest of Saturday and later part of Monday. This reporter was told alleged Muslim with swords, wielding fellows associated with soldiers on rampage, looting, set ablaze several houses. One man was burnt alive, and would appear the security forces were not on scene at the time to stop them from causing the destruction. Investigations has been opened on the matter. This reporter was told this is not the first time that Hausas were going on rampage in Wum. Wum, it should be noted, was amongst the posts despite the ongoing socio-political unrest witnessed in the two restive areas. The upset of conflict zone is no exception. By press time, calm is gradually returning back.
Reactions continue to pop after the killing of Carol Louise on Thursday in Southwest. A group of women in the Northwest region of the country have taken to the streets to protest peacefully against the brutal killing of the 5-year-old pupil by a gendarme officer who was immediately stoned to death by an angry mob. They carried placards bearing messages like "Go to the killing of our children and we need peace." Human rights lawyer barrister Tamfu Richard has dragged Mr. Eko John alias Moja to court over alleged torture and lawful imprisonment of an 8-month pregnant woman and child. Says the act committed by Chief Moja is punishable under the Cameroon Penal Code. Let's have barrister Tamfu as he speaks.
Chief Moja, I promise to personally file a criminal suit against what he's doing.
As the Chinese market, where workers of the local municipal police and those of the hygiene and sanitation company Zatsa met stiff resistance from traders while trying to clear the pathway they occupy early this morning. On his part, this furious trader proposes that the council authorities should rather relocate the Chinese market somewhere else.
La solution est que les Chinois qui importent vont construire un marché. Nous allons rester là-bas. Quand les Chinois sont ici, nous sommes des Camerounais. Nous avons fait des longues études. Ceux qui sont ici, c'est parce qu'ils n'ont pas fait, ils ont fait mal. Ils n'ont pas la chance de porter les Québécois.
Meanwhile, the head of the team leading the municipal police says this move is just one of those made by the city council to curb urban disorder, adding that a temporal site has been made available for the roadside traders.
Il est juste question de maintenir la veille et de faire en sorte qu'ils comprennent que ce n'est pas une bonne opération. Ils sont suffisamment sensibilisés. Donc on associe la sensibilisation à la répression. Donc on n'est pas non plus là pour réprimander, mais c'est pour maintenir la propreté, pour maintenir la situation fluide et à sensibiliser par ailleurs les commerçants.
However, talking further to some of the traders of Cameroon, many have confessed the new space proposed by the municipal council turns out to be too small to accommodate them all. Meantime, the traders hope that the situation be relooked by the council authorities in the days ahead.
We move to the west region of the country, where His Royal Majesty Fon Kelvin Shomitang II of Mboyakum has expressed desire to dialogue with separatist fighters. He made the declaration yesterday, October 18, during his peace tour in the west region of the country. Joingong reports.
After
touring the center, littoral and southwest regions, Von Kevin Shometang of Mboyakum village extended his peace mission to the west region yesterday, October 18, 2021. While addressing his community residents in the noon, the traditional leader urged them to foster for peace and reconciliation wherever they find themselves.
I don't come for Una because I know say Una don't come out village, Una stay for outside. In the days ahead, when that peace go to come back, I sure say next time we don't meet up again at Vienna for village we go meet up. I say we don't hurt each other in one way or the other. May we be open up for reconciliation. May we reconcile with each other so that together we will be able to develop not just Boyakum, but we'll develop the Noon division, we'll develop the Tamnjong division, and we will develop the nation Cameroon.
Von Kevin Shometang equally expressed willingness to dialogue with the separatists in a bid to seek peaceful solutions to the ongoing socio-political upheaval in the two English-speaking regions.
So this coming where I don't come, now to challenge all we make we be peace ambassadors wherever we find ourselves. Whether we didn't have a farm, we didn't have a business place, we didn't have a school, we didn't have our own compound, or good side where we find ourselves, drinking spot, make we preach peace and reconciliation. Then we begin them, we brother them, we friend them when they there for bush. When I tell them, say I do ready for talk with them. If for talk for them, go bring peace for village, peace for the northwest region, peace for Cameroon, I be ready for talk for them.
The traditional ruler, who doubles as the pioneer president of the Northwest House of Chiefs and the vice president of the Northwest Regional Council, hopes that his subjects become ambassadors of peace as he so desires.
And I want to tell you that say that light, we fund them for Northwest don't see them inside me. That capability, that capacity, we fund them don't see them for me. They check say me I lead them. I want me to see the same light inside Bambalang people. Make una shine the light wherever una find yourselves. So that fund them. No go talk say they be make mistake for that person when they be chooser.
Von Shometang used this tour as an opportunity to distribute didactic materials to students IDPs in the West region.
We move to the political capital, where women entrepreneurs gathered at UNESCO headquarters in Yaoundé yesterday, October 18, 2021, for the launch of a coaching and capacity building session. The gathering was in favor of business leaders, leaders of associations, and heads of non-governmental organizations. Among the beneficiaries of this initiative were women from the crisis-hit northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The Women Entrepreneurs Cafe, which was both face-to-face and virtual, was organized by Reach Out Cameroon in partnership with UNESCO and the Rotary Club of Cairo in Egypt. Let's now have this excerpt of one of the organizers.
I guess they need for more help, and they need for more assistance. You know, they are already going through very tough times and very hard times with the crisis that we are facing now. And in those times, people would like to have more support and more intelligent ideas to overcome the crisis they are having now.
First of all, I wish to express our gratitude to UNESCO, who facilitated this come together today with Dr. Amani Arafa. And we also are really indebted to Dr. Amani, who left Egypt just to come and share the deep words of experience which she has on female entrepreneurship with us. She represents the Rotary Club in Egypt, and also on behalf of the Egyptian embassy. She's here today to inspire us, the Cameroonian women, especially those who have been affected so much with the ongoing crisis in our respective regions, where we face so many, and we are still facing so many challenges in terms of economic empowerment and justice, given that all our livelihoods have been destroyed and the women are denied access to farmlands because of the so many guns which are turning every day. We are here today because she's sharing best practices, giving us her success story in order for us to go and inspire other women. We have so many potentials in this country, in our regions. We have them. But we need people to come and inspire us on how to tap into those potentials to make them worth increasing our household incomes, making us to become very independent. Today we have participants from the Northwest, the Southwest, Central region, and beyond Cameroon. We have participants from Congo. It means that women are really eager to know how to make it. Women are seeking for ways and means to carry on with their economic empowerment within their communities, and why not empowering other women? Most of the women who are here today are those who are empowering either other young girls, women, or children in schools on entrepreneurship.
We now talk COVID-19 in the Southwest region. The humanitarian organization Doctors Without Borders has called on the population of the Southwest region to be more vigilant in the fight against the third wave of the coronavirus pandemic. The call was made after a tour at the Boya Regional Hospital COVID-19 Isolation Center to examine the progress of the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Clarice Ekowe reports.
This tour by these delegates from Doctors Without Borders Southwest region to the Boya Regional Hospital COVID-19 Isolation Center, accommodating 21 beds, was to examine the progress in the treatment of COVID-19 patients while taking stock of equipment and materials needed to ensure that the staff properly carry out their job.
So here in Boya Regional Hospital, we agree to work together by COVID. So here actually we set up a testing point where we try to centralize all patients that in need of COVID test, and also we set up together a home-based care program where we are following those patients not in need of being hospitalized. So here in hospitalization, actually, we provide drugs and medical supplies.
Also visiting the Boya Regional Hospital COVID-19 testing center, some denizens could be spotted on a queue, waiting to go through the free COVID-19 test process in order to know their statuses.
Here we receive so many people who come for testing. We have observed that a lot of people who were resistant to testing are now coming, and even some. They come for voluntary testing and they also want to take the vaccine.
For patients whose COVID-19 diagnoses are positive, there are two different modes of treatment, as Dr. Mukake details.
We want to know the circuit of the patient. When you get in, you are consulted. When the COVID test is done, you are sent back to the doctor. If you are positive, what is it we do with you? There are two options. You either can be treated from home, or you are admitted depending on your symptoms and your comorbidities. So it is imperative that people understand that the testing and the treatment is free.
While the Boya Regional Hospital is working in partnership with Doctors Without Borders through its Medicine Sans Frontières program that seeks to curb down the financial burden on COVID-19 patients by providing them with free tests and treatment, the Southwest population have been advised to make good use of the opportunity. This is in a bid to curb the 4% COVID-19 mortality rate already recorded during this third wave of the pandemic.
The Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Ngongo, has continued his inspection visit to sporting facilities for the upcoming African Cup of Nations. He was in the West region of the country yesterday, October 18, where he expressed total satisfaction for the works done so far in the region. Details with Joengong once again.
After visiting various stadia, hotels and hospital infrastructures on October 16 and 17 in Douala, Ferdinand Ngongo continued his journey on October 18 in Bafoussam in the West region of Cameroon. The Minister of State Secretary General at the Presidency was accompanied to the West region by a strong delegation of ministers, national and foreign journalists, Cameroonian and African football legends in the likes of Patrick Mboma, Samuel Eto'o, Roger Milla, Jeremy Njitap, Rigobert Song, El Hadj Diouf, among others. Just as was the case in Douala, the delegation toured the various sporting grounds, hospital and hotel infrastructures that will host the AFCON delegations in the West region. The tour continues in the days ahead in Limbe, Garoua and Yaoundé. For 10 days, Ferdinand Ngongo and his delegation will visit the 6 sites of the competition. Under the high command of the head of state on October 15, the mission seeks to see if the infrastructure and other amenities are up to date 3 months before the competition. It will back up the various reports made so far to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya. The 33rd edition of the African Cup of Nations, CAN Total Energy 2021, will be played from January 9 to February 6, 2022.
And out of the country, Colin Powell, first black president or first black U.S. Secretary of State, has died of COVID-19 complications amidst cancer battle. Eileen Sama has details and other top stories for our World Roundup in this report.
The first black U.S. Secretary of State, whose leadership in many Republican administrations helped shape American foreign policy in the last years of the 20th century and early years of the 21st, has died from complications from COVID-19 at the age of 84. Powell's family wrote that General Colin L. Powell, former U.S. Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, passed away this morning of COVID-19. Powell had multiple myeloma, a cancer of plasma cells that suppresses the body's immune response. Powell was a distinguished and trailblazing professional soldier whose career took him from combat duty in Vietnam to becoming the first black national security advisor during the end of Ronald Reagan's presidency and the youngest and first American chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George H.W. Bush. While in Haiti, a young gang which kidnapped a group of missionaries from the U.S. and Canada in the country on Saturday is demanding $1 million in ransom for each of the 17 people it is holding. This was revealed by the Haitian Justice Minister. The gang is notorious for kidnapping groups of people for ransom. It is worth mentioning that in April, they abducted a group of Catholic clergy and later on released them, but it was not clear if a ransom was paid. All of those kidnapped are U.S. citizens except one who is a Canadian national. Among those under the abduction are 5 men, 7 women, and 5 children, with the youngest child reportedly a 2-year-old. They worked for Christian AIDS Missionaries, a non-profit missionary organization based in the U.S. state Ohio, which supplies Haitian children with shelter, clothing, and food. Meanwhile, a top U.S. college football coach, Nick Rolovich, has been fired for refusing to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Washington State University sacked Nick Rolovich, its highest paid employee, alongside 4 of his assistants for failing to meet a vaccine mandate. According to the mandate, all state workers in Washington have to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 or lose their jobs. Rolovich, who is 42 years old and $3.1 million a year, had applied for a religious exemption from the mandate, but Washington State University Director of Athletes Pat Chun said the exemption had been refused. Rolovich's sacking marks the culmination of a 3-month slowdown between the coach and Washington's Democracy Governor, Jay Inslee.
That was it for today's Prime News. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Coming up next is Prime Hour with Kum Leonard. Bye.